I'm forever amazed at the success of the Farming Simulator IP, and I'd hazard a guess the audience is either people doing farming-related desk jobs, or those that have a romantic view of the profession, as I expect few farmers would actually have the time to sink into its open-ended sandbox sessions. The good news, for both those curious about the IP and existing players looking to return, is that the Platinum Edition provides the forestry-focused excuse you need. It remains a weirdly compelling experience that offers mechanically fiddly and management-heavy methodical busywork, coupled with immersion-breaking jank, like triggering actions with no animation or watching your harvester backflip over a fallen tree trunk. However, if you're willing to work through a steep learning curve and come to grips with the dense interface, it provides an engaging and cathartic time sink. Now, despite the flashy opening cutscene that highlights the hard work required for successful farming, you are swiftly dropped into sandbox environments with no narrative context, no structured story, and no end goal. It's all about early planning, that you can mess up royally, some hands-on work, assigning tasks to the AI, investing profits into new ventures or expanding the ones you have, and, ideally, optimizing every step of the process as you go. It's a rough start, and if you're a newcomer, you'd be wise to pick from one of the 4 official maps on offer in the Platinum Edition. The original 3 include a recreation of the American Midwest, a southern French valley, and the Swiss Alps, all of which focus on traditional crop or livestock farming. The new map, which offers an environment based on the heavily forested Pacific Northwest, has far less arable land, and is the best pick for returning players, or those just uninterested in juggling multiple fields. Each offers a distinct atmosphere and topography, but all of them have town centres with agricultural stores and equipment dealers, different businesses that'll store, transport and buy produce, businesses you can purchase to fabricate goods, and, with the expansion map, even town projects that you can contribute resources towards. Now, before covering the new content, I thought I'd give any newcomers a quick idea of what to expect. Assuming you're playing the standard sandbox mode, you'll pick a difficulty, which affects starting funds and potential debt, lightly customize your avatar, pick a map, and then be thrust into the game with a few icons that offer an incredibly brief tutorial or just a link to the extensive in-game manual. These cover the basics like preparing a field, seeding it, harvesting, selling produce, and assigning tasks to an AI employee, but they're really going to find detail or explain your options when it comes to tweaking gameplay parameters. To give you just a taste of the depth on offer, you can purchase new plots of land, enter an isometric build mode to purchase new structures for your farm, pick between favourable or tough market conditions, toggle the need to periodically till, de-stone, lime and fertilise fields to keep yields high, decide whether vehicles will damage crops as they move through them, or maybe allow your AI helpers to automatically buy the resources they need for any assigned task. Now, you can also tweak how time passes, so if you're after a hectic schedule, you can set time to move swiftly so you'll be tackling a new task each day of the month. Alternatively, for a less intense experience, you can always set the game to real time and make each game day equivalent to a month. This ended up my preferred choice, as it meant you're always planting and harvesting new crop types as the season changed with each sleep. In terms of what you can farm, grains, corn and silage are easy starting picks, but there are over a dozen crop types, several livestock options, and you can even generate other materials to create refined or fabricated goods. It's a lot to take in, but if you go slow, invest in convenient crop or livestock packs to get started, and make use of a rotating second-hand market for discount vehicles and tools, it's not too hard to get a grip on the gameplay mechanics while building up a stable and profitable farm. As in real life, what you get out of Farming Simulator is a function of time, money, planning and effort. There are some alternatives, as in addition to traditional farming, you can focus on maintaining equipment and performing contract jobs, you can buy a factory to produce and sell furniture at higher prices, or you can invest in solar, wind and biogas power generation to earn passive income each month selling it back to the grid. Ultimately, a more diversified farm and one that produces refined goods means greater financial rewards and therefore easier expansion. Of course, that said, Farming Simulator is best learned through experimentation, iteration and coming back from failures, so don't go in expecting to build a sprawling empire in your first attempt. If you find that idea bothers you, well, then it's time to discuss the new content and mod support. You see, everything I've discussed up to this point only represents the tip of the iceberg when it comes to content available. A year on, the experience is better than ever thanks to both the Platinum expansion content and mod support that's now as robust and diverse as in Farming Simulator 19, a much-loved predecessor that somewhat overshadowed the original launch of the 2022 version. The Platinum Edition content is perfect for those that have grown tired of managing an expansive network of fields and paddocks. The Silver Run Forest, and additions to the rest of the game, is all about expanding your forestry options and goals beyond the sale of crops and livestock. With only a few fields adjacent to a lake in the south, and sprawling forests and river valleys to the north, it's a perfect map for those just wanting to maintain a small farm, invest in specialized machinery, contract work, and maybe some greenhouse cultivation if you feel the need to grow something. There are new industries and construction projects, some of which you can take ownership of, that require an abundance of raw and refined materials to complete. You can help establish a mine, process wood and ore for parts to build fishing and leisure boats, and even aid in the construction of a roller coaster for the lakeside town. However, if you're looking for a near-endless source of custom maps, machinery, and unique gameplay modifiers, The extensive mod list, now even on consoles, has been massively improved since launch. You'll want to use a rating system to filter out the best picks, but you can find beautiful and challenging maps that'll force you to consider your farm layout, modifiers to emulate farming in extreme weather conditions, or just mods that simply provide a massive monthly stipend so you can expand to your heart's content. These mods are the lifeblood of this IP, and Farming Simulator 2022 no longer disappoints on console. This game demonstrates an obsessive attention to detail, but only when it comes to vehicles and tools. Yeah, it makes sense given you'll be staring at their exteriors or interiors for the bulk of your playtime, and they're rendered in fine detail, while animations capture the complexity of their operation. The knock-on effect, though, is that the gamepad controls have a learning curve. Turning on or off engines and tools, raising, lowering and rotating attachments, maneuvering trailer attachments, remembering to attach counterweights for forklifts or dozer buckets. It's not your typical video game approach of push one button to perform a complex task. Operating machinery manually always requires a methodical sequence of moves, so get used to the idea of alternating between both thumbsticks, the face buttons, and using the bumpers as modifiers. On top of this, the menus can also be a pain to navigate at times, and it's often difficult to find the information overlay you need. Now, in stark contrast to the machinery, the environments look rough, even if they are suitably atmospheric, and they can look striking when the sun is low in the sky, or if you're working at night with the spotlights on. Their close or medium range environments seem detailed and lush, but sweeping vistas show off aggressive level of detail cuts. The towns and established businesses you explore also feel distinctly simple, with bland textures and minimal vehicle or foot traffic. Unfortunately, the dated visuals don't equate to a stable frame rate, or at least not on the Xbox Series consoles, something that's most notable when driving or walking around anywhere with a sweeping view of the map. On a positive note, the licensed soundtrack offers a mix of country rock, European electronic beats, and classical music, a perfect selection for the slow-paced and methodical gameplay. Now, recommending Farming Simulator 2022 Platinum Edition, or any of its predecessors for that matter, is both easy, but also difficult to justify to a broader audience with no prior experience. There were times I regretted a poor purchasing decision and sat passing time until the next payday. Other times I found myself shouting at the screen while trying to get a tool aligned using the fiddly gamepad controls, or managed to topple my vehicle by swinging a telescopic arm into a tree or plunging an attachment into the ground. However, there were far more moments when I got a kick out of setting up a new field, optimizing my crop rotation, micromanaging the AI to run everything for me, or just from spending an hour manually tilling and seeding a field, lost in a cathartic state while listening to indie rock tunes on the in-game radio. Perhaps the most important point to reiterate is that this is a pure make-your-own-fun sandbox experience, just with a massive set of tools and gameplay modifiers. There's no narrative context, little guidance, no small town that needs saving, and no NPCs to romance. Hell, there's not even a simple list of objectives to aim for. What Farming Simulator 2022 Platinum Edition offers is an improved base game, with new structures and earning opportunities, but also a year of ongoing mod support that provides even more tools, more locations, and more gameplay modifiers. Whatever your farming interests, planning abilities, or patience level, Farming Simulator 2022 Platinum Edition provides more than enough options to farm anywhere you want. If you've got this far, please consider giving the video a like and maybe subscribing to our channel as it helps us grow.